Hello, grade twos. Welcome to another math lesson. And if you will see with me today, I have a clock. So we are going to start talking about time in math. Now, can you think of how we measure time? Think about at the school day, when we have snack, how would we measure our snack time? Do you remember we set the timer at the front of the room? We set it in 5 minutes. So we would have snack in minutes. What about all of math class though, right? From math minute to the math lesson to doing our work, would we measure that in minutes? We would say it's actually pretty close to an hour that it takes us to get through all of that in the morning. So some things in our day we'd measure by minutes and other things we'd measure by hours. So we're at school for hours in the day, right? Okay, so we have our clock here. Now, you could have different clocks at home. You might have a clock that looks like this, or you could have a digital where it just tells you the numbers, okay, the digits. So this is the face of the clock, and the face of the clock has 2 hands. There's a short hand, and when it points to the numbers, that tells us what hour it is, okay? So right now we have 4 o'clock, and we have 4 o'clock because the long hand is the minute hand, and it's right at the 12. So when it's at the 12, we have 4 o'clock. So if I were to write 4 o'clock, it would look like this. In words, I'd write 4 o'clock. Or if I were to write it in digits, I do 4, 2 dots, and there's no minutes. It's on the 12 exactly. So I'm going to write 0, 0. And later we're going to learn, just like you wrote dollars, you had dollars and cents when you were doing money, time is the same. This is the hour, and this is the minutes. And we can have ones, and we can have tens in the minutes, okay? So you always want to have both zeros there so that we know, okay? So this is 4 o'clock. Now, when the minute hand goes around to all the minutes, watch what happens with the small hand. When it goes all the way around, back up to the top, right? We now have 5 o'clock. So when it goes all the way around, that is 1 hour. And I know many of you learned all of this with Miss Wake last year in grade 1. I just wanted to kind of refresh us and remind us of it. So we have 5 o'clock right now, okay, that we have. Now, as the clock makes its way all around the minutes, we get the next hour. So this little hand, we're going to use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. They tell us the hours, and we're going to use those numbers. But the long hand is the minute hand, and it's not going to seem as 1. If you look closely at my clock, do you see the little number? 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and up here it's 60. So the little hand, you'll use the big numbers, but the minute hand, so if it's 5 o'clock, what happens when this moves over here? It's not 5 o'clock anymore, it's 5 minutes. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you'll know that each number is 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll count by 5s. So when this hand is at the 1, we're going to count by 5s. We have 5. So this would be 5 minutes past 5. Or we could write it like this. 5, 0, because we don't have any 10s. We just have 5 ones. Okay? Okay. So this can say, we can say 5 minutes past 5, or if you were to write the numbers, you'd write 505. Remember, there's a 0 there, just like cents. If you had $5.05, you have to put a 0 because this is for the tens, and this is the ones. Okay, so we have 505. Down here, let's count by 5s. 5, 10. The next number is 10. So this would be 5, 10. Or we could say 10 minutes past 5. Keep going to the next number. Let's start at the beginning again. 5, 10, 15, right? So we could say it is 5:15 or 15 minutes past 5. Okay. And we'll keep going. When it's down at the 4, let's start 5, 10, 15, 20. So it'd be 5:20. 5:25. When it's down at the 6, it's 5:30, right? Count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35. 5:40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 5:45. 5:50. 5:55. And when we get back up to the 12 again, we don't say 5:60 because now it's at the 6 and this is at the 12 and that means 6 o'clock. So the hour hand, you look at the numbers, but the big hand, the minute hand, we count by 5s for each number as we go along. And if you can view, you can see each of these are 1 minute. So we can do 1 minute, 2, 3, 4, 5. So since we know that there are 5 minutes in between each of these numbers, there's 5 ticks, we can just count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. Okay, that you can go all the way around. Now, because we just finished fractions, I also want us to think of, because a clock is a circle, that I want you to think of your pie. And if I cut my pie in half, okay, so if I cut my pie in half, for example, and I take my big hand and it goes, so see the half? If my big hand goes halfway around the clock, we call this half past 4. Why half? Because we went halfway around the clock. So half past 4, okay? We also can divide our clock into fourths or quarters. Do you remember that when you made your pie into 4 pieces? So if we just go 1/4 of the way, let's go back to 4 o'clock here. Okay, and if we want our clock just to go 1/4, we can say 4:15, right? Because it was 1/4. So our clock can be broken up into quarters or it can be broken up into halves. And that's where we can also say 4:30 or 4:15, okay? So today you're going to do exercise 46 in your workbooks. And I hope you enjoy our starting on unit 5 of time.